You are now tuned in to the Project 365 experience.
So it is with a tremendous honor that I have Suzette Ennis Mcintyre with me. Suzette, how you doing?
I'm good.
You're good?
Good, yes.
We finally get a chance to get this
Right?
going.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be my most famous guest?
What? No.
Oh, I'm happy that we got the chance to really really do this finally. And I know you have a lot of things, a lot of experiences that could help a lot of parents. I really want to take this episode to really start talking to parents, athletes, just the relationship between the parent and the parent and the athlete. So thank you for taking this time.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Yes.
Just
Oh,
yeah. So I'm just gonna start broadly. Who is Suzette Ennis Mcintyre? Who we love to call over here, we love to call her Momma Sue.
mhm. I want to say the first thing that comes to my mind when I think that, I already think of who's Susan, the mom of 7, the
Mhm,
wife of Tony.
mhm,
That's my normal.
mhm,
But life happens, and then you become like just being here. When you say who's Suzette, compassionate, loving, spiritual
mhm,
human being.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One that wants to always help.
Mhm. The helping, it's almost like the caring
Yeah.
aspect that you have just as a mother. It's almost like you feel it when you're around you. Like
Yeah.
and you get that. I get that comment from parents, from fans, just seeing you and whatnot. It's just like they get really feel like you're there for them. How did that, is it just upbringing? Is it just you growing up? You were always this
Mhm.
way? Like,
It's funny because, okay, so in college, I did social work.
mhm,
And one of the things I remember them saying is, you can't help people just to feel good. Like some people do it, oh, well, I did this, I helped, whatever. I've always, I think everybody goes through certain things in life.
mhm,
And a lot of times it's, you kind of think, for me, you think how you felt, how someone, you never know what someone's going through.
mhm,
So I think I'm just, I would say upbringing as well. My mom is like that. And I think the more I've been in basketball and I've seen throughout the years so many different ups and downs and
mhm,
dreams and disappointments, it
mhm,
kind of, I just have this thing that I said, I'm not going to do it no more. I'm not going to.
mhm,
And someone had said to me, that's your personality. You can't change it. You care for everybody.
mhm,
So I think it's just I would say my upbringing and just being, I honestly, this is going to sound like a cliche. I'm just a spiritual. I want to be like how God wants me to be.
mhm,
That's how I go. Like
mhm,
that's the best thing I can say is that.
mhm. Yeah, it's you're talking about just a sport, and
Mhm.
you talk about the game of basketball allowing, for instance, for our relationship, people don't know, like, we have a pretty, like,
Yeah.
deep relationship, and it's like the game of basketball kind of allows you to experience so much stuff,
Mhm.
and like I want to know, how is it to be like basically a basketball mom, like being married to a full-time basketball coach, somebody who's deep into
Yeah.
coaching, and how it is to have basically all of your kids kind of like be attached to the sport.
The first thing I'm going to say is, for being a wife of a basketball coach, if anybody is going to whatever, you have to love the sport. You
Mm,
have to support. For me, I I grew up, my uncle used to love watching basketball. Never,
mhm,
I was into track and all that.
mhm,
Um, Tony started coaching and I was never, he would go coach and whatever. My mom said to me, you need to go and support him, go to the games. The first basketball event I went to was his end of the year,
mhm,
like dinner or whatever, and that was it. But once my kids started playing, it just was a snowball effect. And then
Mhm.
it's tough being the wife of a, but I love it. So it's
Mhm.
not even hard for me.
Yeah.
But I know it's hard for a lot of other women.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
You have to be, I just think sacrifices, when you have sacrifices, something good's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think like if somebody really likes someone or starts developing feelings for, let's say, a player, whether it's a boy or girl, a girl develops relationship for whoever she is interested in, a guy develops relationship for whoever he's interested in, whatever. Do you think like it becomes harder if you don't like the sport, or is it possible to grow and start liking it?
Well, I grew and started liking
Mhm.
it. But you have, yeah. I mean, if you love that person and they love, like
Mhm.
nowadays, these players love basketball, you have to almost love it enough
Mhm.
and be willing to, whatever the end result you want to be, you have to be willing to
Mhm.
put up with
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
busyness. I'll say the
Yeah.
busyness of
Yeah.
it.
The
Yeah.
busyness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was
Both ways.
an understanding that you got the chance to experience. But
Mhm.
so, we talk about this when me and you, when we talk about a lot of times you gotta brag about your people, you gotta brag about your accomplishments
Mhm.
and all these things. I probably should have started with this, but let's start from top to bottom. I want you to talk about how it is with Tony.
Uh-huh.
I want you to talk about all of your kids
Oh my God.
because you're so proud of them.
Yeah. I'm
And I
so
think
proud
you
of them that I'm emotional.
no, that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, just the floor is yours.
Okay, what's your first question about?
The first good, yeah, yes.
Oh, it's I'll probably be the first person to, I'm not gonna tear up.
Mhm. Gotcha.
He's so passionate. So Tony is so passionate about what he does. He was a hockey player.
Mhm.
So him getting into basketball was a fluke. I think someone at his work said to come out, can you
Mhm.
help come coach a team? He did, and then he just ran with it. But I've seen him read. Like there's days where, like, Sunday morning, parents, you wake up, Sunday usually talk, go make breakfast. He's already up and he's doing like reading something about basketball. Like
Mhm.
I've seen what he's put in and his knowledge and learning everything. He was never an athlete in basketball, and the things that he's learned and he's put to use, I've seen him like change stuff up. We're like, wow, how'd you do that?
Mhm.
I just think he's amazing. The only thing for me, when you see someone do so
Mhm.
much
Mhm.
and their passion and behind the scenes
Mhm.
and people just looking on the outside,
Yeah, you'll never know if you're not on the inside.
and it's kind of like, and it's almost like you got to know him. Like, I just think a lot of people in the community of basketball
Right.
don't understand him.
They don't.
No, not at all. And he's got the biggest heart to where sometimes I'm like, why? Why you don't need, sometimes it's almost like I'm I'm more the one that, like, the hard one where, like, no, da 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 da, and
Yeah.
he'd be like, no, I want, like, he has a lot of compassion because you steer me wrong and I'm just off you. He has an inkling. Like usually women, we have
Yeah.
this thing that we get a vibe, but like
Mhm.
he's a forgiver. He's just passionate. He wants to help. The only thing I can say about him is if you don't know him and you've never sat and talked with him and know his heart, then don't say anything about him.
Don't.
That's
Yeah.
the only thing. He always says, it doesn't matter who cares. I care because I see what you do. He's got 7 kids,
Yeah. We should have started with that.
5 grandkids,
7 kids. Yep.
right? 5 grandkids, a wife, and I'm high maintenance. And he has all these other, and I have no problem with him helping Bobby or Lewis or whoever, but it takes away from my children, and I'm okay with that if they're going to give what he gives. He gives 100%, but he wants you to give 110%.
Right.
And that goes to players and parents. He knows a lot. He doesn't know everything, but he knows a lot. He knows enough to get you where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like me
Mm-hmm.
going to a teacher and trying to tell them how to teach.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So I love what he does. I love everything about him. I love his passion. I love his drive. He's a wonderful human being. I'm not going to say more because I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Said
he
it.
just, yeah.
Yeah. Couple words about, let's go in order. You ready? Brandon.
Ah,
It's my guy.
Brandon, similar to his father,
Mhm.
patient, dedicated, no sleep, tolerates a lot. It's funny, he used to train,
Mhm.
and then I had said, why don't you coach?
No.
You're great with the
Mhm.
kids.
Mhm.
And he said no, and then he moved to Houston and became a coach and loves it.
Yeah.
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 So I would say the exact same thing with Brandon. He's passionate, like I said, loves what he's doing. He's there for you all the time.
Yeah.
If you need him, he's there.
Yeah.
Extremely proud of him. I try not to talk about my kids just because I don't want people to think, people are, oh, she's like,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
won't receive what you're trying to say. But
yeah.
proud of him in the sense that he picked up, moved to Houston, did, and went and got this job and
Yeah.
living his best life.
Yeah.
Also helping kids in what they want to do and encouraging them and supporting them. Same thing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dylan.
Oh, Dylan. Ooh.
Yeah.
I need a moment, Dylan.
Yeah. I got to speak with I got to know Dylan through, you know me, I'm funny with my TikToks and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it was so weird how through him I was almost able to get more motivated.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like somebody who doesn't necessarily know me, but it was almost because he knew that I worked for Tony and
Yeah.
all that. He was like, yo, like this guy must be good. Yo, let me give you some advice.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
bro,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
So
always
Dylan.
said I would love to
Mhm.
see you and Dylan together.
I would love to see.
Oh my God.
Dylan's one of
It's,
those.
yes. He passionate, loving, thank you.
We just got the tissues.
Oh my God. And I think it's because Dylan, so Dylan's story is when he was younger.
Mhm.
So Brandon was always tall. He
Mhm.
was always tall. Dylan wasn't.
Mhm.
But Dylan's arms were long. And I always said, Dylan, if I cut you off in the middle, your legs are taller than your upper part.
Mhm.
He had so much heart in basketball. There were so many times where he was frustrated with his height. He moved to New York, grade 10. And he lived with my brother in Long Island, but he went to school in the Bronx.
Mhm.
And I was like, I was good. Like everybody's like, you're sending your son to New York. Yeah, I never worried, but I'm a warrior when it comes to my kid. But my spirit, because he wanted to go, he did that. So he's always been away from home.
Mhm.
And then now he's in Europe. And then there's COVID. So I haven't like seen my son, but a lot of people say he's very similar to me. He walks in a room, and I think this with all my kids, and I just think I'm so blessed. Like
Mhm.
God loves me. Like,
Which is why I want you to
oh
talk
my
about
God, like Brand, like, oh my, like, I'm sorry.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about Brandon. Dylan, same thing. He walks in a room, he can blend in with anybody.
Mhm.
He's, oh gosh, there's so many words.
Yeah.
Loving, he loves his family, sense of humor. Oh, some of the stuff he did when his siblings were, we'd be in the car and he'd wind down the window,
Mhm.
and the person in the next car would wind down the window, he'd wind it back up.
Mhm.
Or we'll be in drive-through and he goes, sorry if you smell anything, my mom farted. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Loves his children.
Yeah.
Like he'll tell me stuff like, Mom, I get what you mean. Like
Mhm.
sometimes I'll just stare at my kids randomly and they're
Mhm.
like, Mom.
Mhm.
He understands it. But he just has passion, he has drive. Same thing. I think just like his dad, I think him, like a lot of people say to me, and my kids being in Europe opened the door to so many different things for me.
Mhm.
Um, I do think my son could be in the NBA,
Mm-hmm.
100%,
Mm-hmm.
but he's living his best life.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I want a lot of players to know as well, NBA is great. Europe is also great. Do you know what I mean? He's
Mm-hmm.
seeing the world. We probably wouldn't have,
Mm-hmm.
do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Spain, I would have never thought I went to Spain.
Mm-hmm.
But Dylan is he's also my heart. I say Brandon is my first love.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan's my true love because they're all second.
Yeah.
Tyler's my true love. I'm just so proud of him. I'm proud of the
Yeah.
father that he is, the husband that he is, the brother and the son, and just friend. I'll say like, Dylan, there's this kid I want you to talk to. Would you
He'll call him. Yep.
always,
I've
Dylan,
witnessed it. I've
yeah,
seen it.
just he's there to help.
Yeah.
Anything he can help
Yeah.
someone with,
Yeah.
he does that. And
Yeah.
I'm just extremely proud of him. I love his tenacity. I just love
Yeah.
his free spirit.
That's
and his yeah.
That's the vibe I got from him.
Yeah.
Like he's just somebody that's really willing to help. And
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah. He's done a lot to get where he is, and he hasn't even gotten his flowers yet, and he will.
Mm-hmm.
He will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tyler
Oh,
Ennis.
my baby.
Tyler Ennis.
Oh. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, he's so smart. People think he's shy. He's not.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler observes and has to feel you out. Also, similar to his dad, he reads a lot. He wants to know everything. He'll call his dad like every day just to kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, ask him questions, and like, he still wants to learn. He's passionate.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like nonsense. Do you know what I mean? He's here to do something, get it done. Amazing father, amazing father. He's getting married this year. I'm so excited for his wedding.
Hey.
I'm mama's boy. I think all my boys are mama's boys.
Yeah. As they should.
Yeah, as they should be. But I just love how he is, the person he is. I love our conversations. When we went for his visit at Syracuse, he said, so he had his visit at Syracuse, and the same weekend Brandon had his senior night at his university in DC. And I thought, oh, he's gonna ask his dad. And he goes, oh no, I want mom to go. Because sometimes you see them with their father, and it's kind of like, I want to be in everything that they do, but I know I can't be.
Yeah.
So when he said that, I was like, oh, you want me to come? And he doesn't know, but I was so proud just to be with him.
Yeah.
There's times that I get like I'm one of those moms. I get very,
Yeah.
oh, but what the word? I want to use a good word. I get very animated,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, basketball's competitive. He calms me down, Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
He's so chill and easygoing.
Mm-hmm.
He as well walks into a room and like people will notice him, and he just stays back and he just watches.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he will get his flowers.
Yeah.
He's done so much, been through a lot, and still going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's tough where he doesn't. He did one interview where I saw, and he got emotional, and that was like, whoa. And it's funny because I am very, when it comes to my kids, but when it's like when he had that injury, I was just like, I did not. I don't know. I didn't even. I had to be. He texted me the first. I screenshot it. It said "mommy," and when I saw it, just that word, this was like. I'm extremely proud of Tyler, proud of him so much.
Mm-hmm.
My baby.
Brittany,
my mini me.
Brittany. Yes. Suzette 2.0.
You think so?
Suzette 2.0.
Yes, everyone says that.
Yeah.
She's passionate. She has so many things that she's doing, always willing to help. She's quiet as well.
Quiet.
Yeah.
She gets it done.
But she gets it done. So I think she's a bit of her father and myself, where people, oh, she's just like you. And then like quiet, but she knows what, but she tries to, she stays in her own lane. And I like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Smart, creative. There's so many things she can do. And I want her to do everything. What I love about my daughter, because I find young people nowadays, parents can't really tell them anything.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, even though I'm older than you, I think I could still learn from you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people my age and older feel like they know everything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know everything. I want to learn till the ends of time,
Mhm.
until my last day on earth. I
Mm-hmm.
want to learn everything. And she teaches me. Sometimes I can get out of character
Mm-hmm.
and she will bring me in. But what I love about her is there's something she'll want to do and she's adamant about it. And I'll say, Britt, you should do it this way. She
Mhm.
listens to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that about her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see what she's going to do in the future because I think she's special.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think with all your kids, I think as great as their people on the outside might see their accomplishments, I still feel like there's another level that they're gonna get to. So as big as people feel like, oh, this must be big, and we're gonna talk a little bit about it after, but as much as it must be big, like there's another level. It's almost like you guys ain't seen nothing yet, almost, you know?
Wow.
I find that
I
very
love that.
interesting, yeah. And you know, it's funny you started with that because like me and Brittany, we talk and it's just like, yeah, like there is a lot of like similarities and I could see
Yeah.
like why she would bounce ideas and like the yin to your yang. You know?
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dominique.
Oh, my baby girl. Oh, Dominique.
Rice
Rice University.
just finished her first year.
Yeah, she did.
Mhm.
Did amazing. So proud of her. She actually, Dylan used to go to Rice. He went there for a year. She's quiet. She's similar to Tyler. She's very quiet, stays to herself.
Mhm.
Pushed her a lot. Dominique's been good since she was in the gyms. She's been in the gym since she was a baby.
Mhm.
I think she's so talented. What I love about Dominique, she has a sense of humor, is that she doesn't chase it like everybody does.
Mhm.
I think I chased it more than she did because, well, the thing with basketball, when you're on a team and all the girls get along and then the parents get along, it's almost like that's your, Tony had to say something. When she did soccer, because all my kids played soccer first, Tyler did lacrosse, and they also did basketball. And with soccer, they played rep soccer, and Tony said, "You're just going to soccer because you have, all the moms." So with basketball, we had a click from when she was, I think, 5, and they all grew together.
Mhm.
And then you see everybody doing things, and we're all going for the same goals. And Team Ontario came around, Team Canada, and I hope we touch base on this where I didn't want to take it from her that this is her dream,
Mhm.
not mine.
Mhm.
And she had a lot of things that she had to do. And with basketball, I find that you miss out on certain things.
Yeah.
You miss out on prom, you may miss
Yeah.
graduation. And with our family, there's a lot of milestones that we miss, but we understood that going into what we're going to with basketball.
Mhm.
And she had to make a choice with basketball or going to prom, being at her graduation, and she chose not basketball. And at first I was like, but this, and I'm seeing all the girls that she's played with throughout the years be so
Right.
passionate. Oh, they're in, and you see them and they're doing all this. I'm like, why isn't Dom there? And I thought, whoa. The goal is to get a scholarship. At the end of the day, when you're playing rep ball, you want the scholarship.
Right.
Everything else is gravy.
Right.
One of the things I always say is, I've not ever had to pay for my kids' education. And I looked at it like, well, if she wants to do this,
Yeah.
I'm going to support her. I don't want to
Yeah.
push her so much that she
Yeah.
doesn't like it.
Yeah.
You want her to enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? And she's talented. She's really good. So when that time comes, God's got her.
Yeah.
So I support her so much in everything that she does. I've seen so much growth in her. She's away and she's a girl, so I'm nervous. And she's
Yeah.
like, Mom, I got this.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love her so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a strong point that you just said because like I think like a lot of times as parents, like, you know, in school, so I have an associate degree in special care counseling, right?
Okay.
So growing up, you learn a lot about how parents grow and how they teach their kids and all that kind of stuff. And it's like parents do the best that they can. Like I
Mhm.
truly believe that.
Yeah.
Like I think like to us, like even though for some people it might be they might see off, but who are you to judge how certain people do certain things? And a lot of times, like parents do great things, but then also they have to catch themselves and feel like, yo, am I doing enough? Or am I doing like, is this gonna be enough for my child? But
Mhm.
sometimes just being able to trust that you've given your child all the tools,
That they, yeah,
she's going to a new environment, she's good. She's telling you she's good. Like I find a lot of times for parents, it's like it's hard for them to kind of like accept that, yo, like
maybe. Yeah.
I've done a good job,
Yeah.
or what or whatnot, you know. So that's a strong point that what you said.
Yeah.
Okay, Thailand,
Oh, Thailand.
Thailand,
I think he's the mini Tyler.
mini Tyler. Yeah.
Mannerisms,
Mhm.
the way he shoots a free throw. I gotta get like a mirror image of both of them exactly the same way. They sound alike.
His
There's a
arm-
way Tyler does his body
his arms.
and he looks down. Thailand does the same thing.
Mhm.
Quiet, chill, okay to be by himself, but loves being with the group.
Mhm.
Talented. When he goes off, he goes off. Watches a lot of basketball clips. He'll be on his phone, and I'm like, he's always on his phone, but he's not on social media or anything. He's watching basketball clips. I'm super excited to see
I know.
what he does.
I know. Me too.
We always have that thing of, do you think you were like, as a family, you were good at this age when like they compare each other?
Yeah, yeah.
Love him so much. He's a teenager now, so it's kind of like last year when I would drop him off at school, he'd like give me a kiss, and I was like, "Bye, mom." So I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
"What happened?" I said, "You used to love me so much and hug me." But
Teenage years.
yeah.
Holy.
I love who he's becoming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for him.
yeah,
Yeah. Because I see him slowly coming out of his shell.
yeah.
Like I
But
love it.
he's not shy.
He's
just
not. He's not.
everybody. Yeah,
It's almost like he's so mature that like there's certain conversations he's gonna be like,
when
I'm
you
not-
think he's not listening, he's like,
yeah,
he's
exactly.
listening.
Yeah. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Okay, bye.
Bryson, my
Bryson.
baby, my baby. Oh my God. Same thing with him. Like he forever wants to be in gym with you guys.
Mhm.
Will come up and he like, can you drop me at the gym?
So I have to say this. So Bryson is 7. Is he 7?
He just turned eight.
He just turned 8?
Yeah.
8. Okay. So I'm telling you, sometimes he calls Tony sometimes. And I swear sometimes it's like I feel like Tony's talking with another grown man. Like grown the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is like that.
Yeah.
So stuff will happen where like
Love it.
someone will say something.
Mhm.
Oh no, I went somewhere. I wanted to go do something
Mhm.
on Saturday. So I left and I said to Tony, I'm getting gas, but I also went to return something. Tony hates when I return stuff.
Mhm.
So Brittany goes, oh, I don't know where she went. I think she went to go get gas. Bryson, I don't know how he knew because he was sleeping.
Mhm.
Oh no, I think she went to return something. Like he's just like, what? He's loving,
Yeah.
loves the game of basketball.
Yeah.
He's totally like a mama's boy. Like
Yeah.
all Brittany says, Mom, when you went out, he's like, shouldn't mom be back now? Why is she not here?
Yeah.
And he's very social.
Yeah.
Very
he is.
social. Sometimes
Yes.
I'm like, okay, Tylon, these are,
Loves the group.
yeah, he loves the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, this is why I wanted you to just talk a little bit about just your kids individually, because obviously, you know, you guys are going to be known as like a basketball family. Okay. So you have 7 kids, right? And Tyler got drafted.
Mhm.
Tyler got drafted in the NBA. How was that like?
Other than the birth of my children and my wedding day, best day of my life.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the experience
Uh-huh.
was like, you know
Yeah.
what it is? The
Yeah.
fact that
Yeah.
that was something you look forward to, and it's so
Yeah.
like the margin to even be there
Yeah.
is so small.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was, I can remember it frame by frame. It was
Mhm.
so much fun.
Mhm.
Just to be there. And then with his brothers there,
Yeah.
Dylan always says it feels like it was me as well. Like we're very
Yeah.
close.
So Sorry,
Okay, no.
I have to step in. I have to
Yeah.
step in because I think that's what's so great because like through that moment, you could almost feel like everybody got drafted.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and a lot of people think about NBA, but you have the older brother who he got the chance to. Dylan was playing for. He was in the G League. Was he? No, Summer League.
he did summer league, yes.
He did Summer League,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So think about it like that. Now he goes and goes play pro.
yeah,
Literally, every one of your kids have the chance to go on and like you said, like I don't even have to pay for school. I don't even have to pay for the scholarship. Like you're talking about D1 players.
Yeah.
What every parent is like basically like if you're the parent of an elite athlete, that's what you're striving
Yeah.
for. Right. So talk a little bit about how it was like because I cut you off. So it's
No, it's
kind
okay.
of talk a little
Yeah.
bit about the experience, but also talk about how it is to get this opportunity to get your player to get your kids
Mhm.
get D1 scholarships because to them that's almost like their NBA almost.
Yeah, yeah. What I talked about before with the sacrifice,
Mhm.
that's what it is. Like, if
Mhm.
that's what you want, like when we were at the draft,
Mhm.
what they do is you have to go to like meetings, certain
Yeah.
meetings. And one of the meetings was with Ernst and Young. So they talked about money. And one of the questions asked was, how many parents here have added up the amount of money they've paid for basketball, AAU, all that? Some parents had their hands up and they did the budget of, say they get $1 million contract and they show the different things. But if you're a parent and you're doing this for your child and it's gonna, because
Mhm.
I believe your children
Mhm.
should have a better life
Yep.
than you did,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
The sacrifice for it is why it's worth it
Mhm.
because they wanted it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Most of us are just average. I'm an average worker, my husband, but Tony's doing something that he loves. He loves
Right.
basketball, so
Right.
that's a bonus for him.
Right.
We just got to know that we're not overdoing it, and we're knowing like, okay, take a day off. It's okay to take a day off.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? And rest your body. Too much of anything isn't good, but not some parents. I look sometimes and I see like, okay, you want it more than this kid. And
That's why I
the
want
kid,
you on.
the
Mhm.
kid that's usually, I remember my oldest son when he was doing it. There was one kid that was like had schools, all that. There was an MVP camp, it's called, at the time. He never ended up going anywhere. I don't know what happened, but you gotta parents just have to parents
Mhm.
my parents didn't do what we're doing now. We just have to be aware.
Mhm.
That's all. Aware who's going to be around your children.
Mhm.
Aware of they don't need 3 trainers. I think
Mhm.
some parents like O's training them, Brandon's training them, Rob's training. Why? And all 3 trainers have different ways of training.
Right.
Find someone that you trust and let your kid go with them. Do you
Mhm.
know what I mean? I just think that, but my main thing is make sure they love it. When Dylan went to New York, he wanted to go
Mhm.
and he did amazing. My one other person I have to give props to is my brother. Dylan always says, like, after you and dad, it's Uncle Quincy. And my brother is New York City tough. Dylan took the
Mhm.
bus. So he lived in Long Island.
Mhm.
Dylan had to wake up in the morning, and Dylan was still like not a tall kid, had to take an hour and a half to school and an hour and a half back. So he was leaving in the morning when it started, coming home when it started because he had basketball and all that. But he wanted to do it, and it was his passion to do it. So if they have passion, plus you got to be level-headed as parents. You know what I
Right.
mean? Don't follow all that. What it's nice. It's nice for the accolades and all that, but you got to make sure that their
Mhm.
mental is good.
Mhm. So, what do you think would be like your biggest advice to like parents? Like, if you're parenting an elite athlete, what is your biggest like advice that you would give to them?
Trust the people you're around. Make sure you can trust them with your kid. I had someone, a friend of mine always says, you're not going to send your kid with a stranger. Don't just meet somebody and just, you know what I mean? Oh, at the top, get to know people that are going to be around your kids because they're going to be the influence.
Mhm.
Because I think once some kids are going to make it, I think once you get that scholarship, you did a great job.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Yeah.
Pro basketball after that, that's gravy. Do you know what I mean? So I think having to know and trusting the people around building your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Word of mouth
Yeah.
is always good, but
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
just send your kid with whoever. Be there and watch.
Yeah.
Watch and see. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Know about them. Know about their family.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I would
Yeah. Well,
recommend for parents.
so you were able to see, like, I think also a lot of parents don't understand, like, a lot of parents, a lot of players, a lot of people in general don't understand how much work goes into it.
Mm.
Like, do you have some examples of like things where you're like, you're sitting back, you're like, yo, this is hard work, or this is, like, do you have some examples?
I actually loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I don't know. I think it was easier
Because
for me.
your approach was more like, oh man, I love
It's-
seeing them work hard.
Oh, our family has never
Yeah.
taken a vacation.
Mm.
My vacations have always been
That's a big
a
one.
basketball tournament.
That's a
We've
big
said
one.
that we've never gone on a vacation, like all of us.
That's a big one.
So, and it's funny because when we get together, because
Yeah.
we're all over the place, that's why we have that. Like,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people think that we're a lot.
Mhm.
We love each other, and it's okay to love each other. We never got the chance to live. We did not live a regular life. I didn't drop my kids at school and pick them up and we had dinner around that. No, I didn't get to do that.
Mhm.
We only got summertime is our time together.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? So that was, but it was all worth it for me. Like, I can't say I didn't like it. My husband, and I had it easy because my husband knew the business.
Mhm.
So some of these parents, they're trusting, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. They're trusting these people with their children.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I kind of feel for them sometimes.
Yeah.
And if you trust a person, I think the person has to be transparent. Bobby needs to practice his free, like, you gotta, whatever they're saying to you, you gotta take it. Don't go to the other trainer and the other trainer is saying something else, and then you're get mad at this trainer. That's where the
Yeah.
conflict arises.
Yeah.
Parents get upset and
Yeah.
they don't like somebody no more. No, you gotta stay with one. I believe that's just my
Yeah.
opinion,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
I have so many friends in the basketball world that
Yeah.
I hear so many different stories, and it's kind of like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Is that like, because we're heading into like a very interesting topic, because to me, like, parents, my approach is always like, I want to get to know the parents. I want to get to know the parents because it kind of makes me easy. It makes it easier for me to coach the players, understand where a player's from, where, how they interact with their parents, because then I am able to adapt my coaching in a way that is not like, hey, everybody's coming at me the same way.
okay.
Okay,
yeah.
If the parents are hard on a player all the time, the game's done, the player's hard. Maybe I'm not approaching that player with a hard attitude all the time. I'm kind of able to kind of like adapt.
Okay.
So for me, it's like, what is one thing that parents need to, and you have your experiences. So for coaches like me who get the chance to give those parents a voice, I want to listen, I want to hear them, get their feedback.
And that's rare because a lot of coaches don't
This
do
is
that.
where I'm getting
They're
at.
like, you drop them off his mind. Yeah.
So if you are a parent, and let's say you don't have that ability to have, the coach doesn't give you that feedback, or you don't have the ability to communicate with them on that end, what is one advice you think you would give to parents? Like, what can they do
If the coach is not like you,
to support? Yeah. Who don't have the same approach.
so you got to trust him. Why did you bring him? There's got to be a reason why you went with Steve. Do you know what I mean? So you got to trust the coach. Do not listen to everyone. And like you just said, you got to get to know the coach.
You have to.
Yes.
You
got to get to know the coach, because I've heard it where some people will come to the parents' ear and like, Steve not even coaching him good. He needs to be doing this. And then you'll listen to the guy beside you, and then you're looking at Coach Steve with the side eye. Parents have to trust their coach and have a relationship with the coach. Talk to the coach, good and bad. Trust if you got to trust your coach. Plain and simple. That's it. If you brought him to that coach, and if you brought him there because you heard, oh, you coached Emmy or whoever,
Yeah, like a
whoever,
player.
Jamal, or whoever,
Yeah.
then he did that. Trust the
Mhm.
coach.
Mhm.
It's just a trusting.
Trusting. Yeah.
Parents are, there's good and there's bad, but there's good and bad in everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more the men though,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
than anything.
Yeah.
More than, I mean, moms, we get away,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah.
more than anything, trusting your coach and believing in
think-
them, else you wouldn't have brought him there in the
and-
first place.
And I think a lot of times, like, it's like you almost have to have that self-reflection, because I kind of feel like a lot of
Sorry,
times
can I interrupt you?
hit me.
Boundaries, trusting and boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries for the coach, because sometimes when you allow, you talk to the parents and you have that rapport. Because I have a friend where they had a great rapport with the coach,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it wasn't good, and they don't even speak.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So boundaries where, okay, I know I can go say this to the coach and but boundaries and trust, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it interrupt. I just
No,
remembered that.
no. It's good, because I think, like, for me, like, a lot of parents will live through their kid, and I think, like, that's where it gets a bit dangerous.
Yeah.
So you haven't gone through the process. Like, all your kids played basketball, well,
Mhm.
Bryson's going to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's 7, so he's 8, sorry,
Yeah.
he's gonna play. So, like, it wasn't hard, like, every time. So I'll give you an example.
Okay.
For me, like, when I go watch somebody that I like, a player that I trained, or somebody that I actually care about,
Yeah.
right? It's hard for me to sit on the sideline
And
and not say anything, and not
Yeah.
So it's like, but I catch myself, because as a coach, I have that perspective.
When you say
Mhm.
like something,
Like, just something happens, like,
okay.
yo, shoot, like, let's say I'm on
Okay.
the side, like, yo, you're not shooting.
Okay.
You're not,
Yeah.
yo, drive the ball, yo, do it. Nah. So then, like, the player now has to listen to me, has to listen to his coach. That could mess the player even up more. So, has that ever been hard for you to, like, you see some,
Oh my God. Is that a joke?
give you the side eye?
Oh my God. That's hard for me. I gotta learn. And my kids will say, Mom, like they'll that's why I said, like, Brittany will kind of sometimes just leave me when she gets quiet. I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
I gotta take it back a notch. Because
Mhm.
sometimes I'll say something and they're like, no, it was,
Mhm.
but I think I know, and I've been in the game long enough, like, know enough. But I used to be like, now I just get at the refs. Now
Yeah.
I just get at the refs.
Yeah.
But with my guys at
Yeah.
AI, some of them, like even at the BioSteel,
Yeah.
one of my guys, I say my guys because they're my kids,
Yep.
Griffin,
Yep.
amazing. He played in the BioSteel, and they had it where, everybody wants the MVP, of course. But I found if you had the ball, you would go. And I wanted him, I was on the sideline, Griff, call for the ball. So I still do that, but I'm a parent.
Yeah.
I think as a coach, my opinion, yeah, I would wait till after. But I get that I get to do it because I'm a parent.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
different for you because you're a
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's in a bad way.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
not acting out of yeah.
Yeah. Having put all your kids in basketball, what are the benefits of team sports? Why are team sports so important for kids?
I think it's good because
First of all, do you believe that?
Oh.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
I never did. Well, other
Yeah.
than school,
Yeah.
I didn't do anything
Yeah.
like any outside sport. For mental, it's good. It's good to be around people, and it's also good to be by yourself. I had one of the players and I talking yesterday, and he was saying, he likes doing stuff in his room by himself, studying and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but you're here. Like, it's also good to be. We were talking about
Being around people.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he was saying, so I said, okay, if you want to do your work in your room, you can do that. And at the end, he goes, no, I don't, I'll come down. But because he was saying his parents were saying, it's academics. And I was like, I get academics, of course, but your mental, everybody in the world needs to feel. Some people, and a small amount of people can do things all by themselves and not have, but most people want to be a part of something.
Yeah.
And it builds character.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think it's important. And the way of the world right now, I think it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping them out of trouble. There's so much going on. They're going to the one thing my husband was adamant about.
Mm-hmm.
My kids did not hang out in the malls.
Mm-hmm.
If they went to the mall, they went with us.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we did was different. We did everything together, other than them going out with their friends when we knew, but they never hung out at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
Never. It just keeps them out of trouble. I think it's great for them.
Yeah.
And you never know. Look, you end up, some kids that probably never did a sport end up being talented. You never know what can happen, but I think it's very important.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be basketball. It can be cadets,
Yeah.
but my number one is basketball. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the number one thing parents what is the number one thing that parents can do to support their kids in this new age of basketball? Because we just talked like it's a different generation.
Do you know what I notice?
What you notice?
Tylon's games.
Yep.
And I'm one of the things I don't like to do
Mm-hmm.
is sit beside the team we're playing. Like I cannot, like if I'm sitting beside someone and they're making comments, they're not even talking to me. It irritates me. And I don't want to see them like, yeah, if they're getting threes and they're winning. I always try to sit on the other side. And I don't know why these people draw to me. I think God's testing me. But I've seen parents where throughout, like in the CYBL, I believe it was, oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
My expectation of Tylon, one of the things I've always said to players is someone's always watching.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like a showboat and a show off. I love the player that's shooting threes, playing D, and he's just doing his thing. You have the nice where you do your threes and your hands up.
Yeah.
Talking to the crowd, stop. I believe that arrogance is gonna bite you.
Yeah.
Just be humble, enjoy the sport. Like people love, you know what I mean? But with Tylon's age, what I see with some of the parents and some of the fathers,
Yeah.
I'm just standing there like, whoa, did I look like this with the older boys? No way. And plus Tony will ring me in like, yo, chill out.
Yeah.
But parents will come to the other side and just cause a ruckus.
Right.
The players will be doing some dirty stuff at 13. And then I'll look at the parent, I'll like, okay, that's why.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I could say, and I know with my family, I'm the one willing to say whatever.
Yeah.
But I'll know if if me and someone will have something, I'm going to see them all the time. Eventually I'm going to be like, oh, damn, could it be cool now? Because I want nothing with nobody, but at the same time, like have care. None of my kids are not dirty players. And if you do something to my kid, we're going to say, do it back. And at the same time, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect that from my kids. So I think as parents, we have to watch how we act in front of them because we're okaying some stuff. Do you know what I mean? So that's one of the things that I saw this year. And I was kind of like, oh, and then as parents, you're so compassionate and competitive. So you get like, you don't know what could happen. And then we're already getting at the refs and then we're getting mad. And then this pressure of the kids having to try to win. And it's, and this team's better. Let's just have fun and get some scholarships. But character, watch how you look, watch how you act. My kids will tell me, and Tylon will, like if I'm embarrassing my son, then I have to stop. Like I don't want him to feel away like he doesn't want me to be at his games.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
that's a deep one.
Yeah. Yeah. It was bad. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. What is the number one skill, like non-basketball, but like what is the number one skill that you think like if I was to put my child in youth sports, what do you think the number one skill I should want them to come out with?
In any sport or basketball?
Any sport. Any sport. Let's go any sport. Team sport though.
Team sport?
Yeah.
The number one skill. There's so much I'm thinking right now.
What's the one that's closest to your heart?
Meeting new people.
Like the social aspect.
Yeah. Meeting new people, learning one of the things with the guys here, there's so much people from different walks of life.
Yeah.
That I would think. That's what I like. I
Mm.
have a story. I always tell the players a story.
Go hit
When
me.
my son Dylan went to
Mhm,
Lake Forest in Chicago,
mhm,
so he went to this prominent
mhm,
private school, and he was with he was friends with the Gillette heir, his daughter, all that.
mhm,
He said, "Mom, we could just leave our cell phones anywhere. Nobody's gonna touch it." They were all. Dylan was on the financial hierarchy at the bottom,
mhm.
basically, and his roommate was a kid from China, Andy Lee, and they put Andy Lee and Dylan in the same room as roommates. And one of the things Dylan told me was, oh, Andy told me when he was coming to America and he found out who his roommate was, his grandmother warned him, oh, be careful because you're going, Americans,
Mhm.
Americans.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, Andy Lee and Dylan are still best friends to this day?
Sportsman that does that. It's crazy.
Yeah, you new things.
Like if you allow yourself, yeah.
Allow yourself, yeah. So
Mm.
I would say that what I would take away.
Mhm.
Not even in cadets or
Mhm.
whatever, thing you can put your child in. Meet someone that doesn't look like you,
Mm.
that you can learn from, and vice versa. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would say that.
Mhm. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, let's imagine you just finish a heated game, right? Heated game, win or loss, right?
Mhm.
You're driving your kid, win or loss.
Yeah.
You're driving your
Yeah.
kid. What is one thing that you will consistently tell your kid, whether it's a win, whether it's a loss, after having played like a game?
Oh, what consistently?
Yeah.
One thing that I would tell them. Oh, win or loss?
Win or loss.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah. Because I know what I would say if you lose. You gotta shoot the ball. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Because it's funny when they lose, and if it's like one of those games,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm supposed to chill, but it's hard for me,
Yeah.
not to say
yeah,
what you just said.
yeah.
Um,
That's why I'm gonna be like, win or loss. What is one thing that's consistent?
I would talk about the plays, and I'm trying to parallel these things.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tough one.
It is.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What is one thing I would
Yeah.
say either way? I would just say the first person that comes to my mind is Thailand,
Yeah.
because that's what I'm
Yeah.
focused on right now.
Yeah.
You played hard. Like, he plays so tough.
Yeah.
Win or loss, he plays tough.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah.
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 When yeah.
It always hits me.
And he's played tough at games that he's won and lost. Like, I'm seeing he's had his games where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
he got 4 fouls.
Yeah.
But when he's
Yeah.
when he plays tough, it goes both ways for him. Yeah, I would say that.
And you know why I asked that question? Because I think there's one moment when I first started coaching, right? Like when I first started coaching, I thought it was all about getting dubs. Like you gotta win everything, right? And there was always, when sometimes some people tell you stuff all the time, and then after it's like you don't really hear it, but then they could keep telling you the same thing. It's gonna take a special moment for you to really understand what the people are saying.
Yeah.
So after every game, they're always like, yeah, the kids play hard. The kids play hard. We weren't the most talented. When I first started coaching, back in Montreal, we weren't the most talented. Oh yeah, they play hard, they play hard. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm a competitor. I'm like, yeah, we lost though. We lost.
Yeah.
That's my perspective as a coach. I'm like, damn, we gotta do some things better. We gotta do some things differently, da da da. And I remember just the same parent was always telling me, the kids play hard, they love playing for you. The kids play hard, they love playing for you. And at the end of the year, just when I got at the end of the year, I wasn't expecting anything, but just at the end, the kid, the person, the kid of the parent just found me and just gave me a card, just said, yo, thank you. It's my first year of basketball. I just loved playing for you. And it hit me there. I'm like, yo, we get this opportunity.
Yeah.
Sorry, we get this opportunity as kids, as coaches, as parents, to be like, they're gonna remember this
That,
part.
yes. Yeah.
They're gonna remember this part. So for me, it was almost like a eye-opening moment. And from there on, I kind of started shifting like my approach to the mindset. Like, do you ever have times where you're not talking about specifically the game, like what you're telling, like especially with, you're looking at you're looking at your youngest is looking up to like, okay, like my brother was in the NBA. My brother got a chance to compete in the NBA. Da, da, da.
Yeah, yeah.
You're looking at your youngest and you're almost taking the focus away from basketball and trying to get him to understand, like, yo, but did you play hard? Did you talk with your teammates? Are you having fun? Are you there? Do you find yourself doing these things
I
sometimes?
do it more now, but I've
Mm,
had experience. Like, I think everything for me is easier because, again, I've had the experience of what I've gone through in
Yeah.
the years. I've changed. I probably wouldn't say that when I was with the older kids.
The older kids,
I've
yeah.
learned. So you have to learn it, just like you learned at the
Yeah.
end of the thing, like, oh, wait,
Yeah.
they love this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Okay. So, that's a good one. Biggest mistake you see parents do nowadays.
Oh my God. Going back to the CYBL,
Yeah.
coaching
That's the
from the
biggest mistake.
sideline. Oh
Coaching from the
my
sideline.
God.
Coaching sideline is
And
bad.
it's oh my God. Like, I'm picturing this one time when I was there, and the coach is trying to coach,
Yeah.
and the father, my kids do not even look my way,
Mm-hmm.
but they know better. Like, they shouldn't have a father that's a coach to know that. It's just human behavior. Let the coach coach. Oh my God. And it's like 3 or 4 fathers. Sit down, enjoy the game, enjoy your kid. Ravel that he's so good at what he does. But no, I would say that's one of the biggest things, coaching from the sideline. I'm not saying I don't, I'll say, pass or whatever. So they're not listening to me. But I think I would say with the fathers, I would say that more that I see. I don't really see the moms. There's some rah-rah moms there. I'm picturing them in my head. But I would say, yeah, coaching from this, not allowing the coach to do his job. And being a coach, what?
That's big.
I hope your parents realize,
Listen,
being a coach is not
sacrifice.
easy. What?
You go cuss out the coach. Like, the coach doesn't want to make your 9-year-old's life hard.
No, no. Do you think they want to lose? He has to take Bobby off. He has to take Bryson off, whatever. But yeah, I would say coaching from the sideline and not allow. And it's a competitive game. But yeah, I would say that's one of the mistakes that I could see, that there's a many that we do. And I'm not saying I was never, but my kids never listened to me. So it never, your kids are listening to you nowadays. It's more, I think, from when Brandon, Tyler, and Dylan played, now but there's so many teams everywhere. Everyone's playing. So it's more, there was already only 10 spots for 10,000 people. Now there's 10 spots for 100,000 people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's more people are playing the sport.
Yeah.
More competitive.
Which is great. So much stuff can happen, but we just gotta know our character. That's the best way I can put it.
Final question.
Ooh, that's it. This was fun.
Final question. This was fun. Thank you so much for.
I hope we can do a part 2.
We might have to do a part 2. We might have to do a part 2. Okay. What is your best investment as a mother?
Oh my God, my best investment
you made as a mother. Because people don't understand.
An investment.
Being a parent, and especially you kind of like being in the situation that you are in.
Okay.
You have kids who love a sport. You have basically you have a husband who is dedicated to the game. So you had certain investments that you made. Right?
Okay, I hope you understand this.
Hit me.
My time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah, my time.
How so?
Kind of put my career to the side and went on this journey with my kids. Would not change it for the world, because this is where I say, when I had said before about where your kids are going, what I'm doing right now so I went to school for social work, so that's what I wanted to do. I'm doing it in basketball.
Mm,
When I'm talking to the players, when I'm talking about experiences, I'm using my kids as example. That is what I would say time, because even though I put my career on this on the side there to do that, I was still able to do it.
mhm.
If that does that make
That's
sense?
amazing.
Does it, you understand that?
That's amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
Suzette,
Priceless.
Suzette, we got it done. Thank you so much. If ever some parents, people have any questions that they'd love to connect, I know you're always somebody who's very giving, but where can people find you?
Oh my God. Where can they find me?
Mm, on your social media?
They can
Where?
find me on my Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have Twitter.
yeah. What's your at? Plug your at.
My
Plug.
at on Instagram is just Suzette Ennis.
Suzette Ennis.
And then I think my Twitter is also at Suzette Ennis. Like,
Yeah.
I love the game of basketball. I think it does so much for so many. And like I get, there's 100,000 people in it now. I feel sorry for some parents that don't have a Tony
Mm-hmm.
or someone in it that can help guide them. Sometimes I feel like some parents are just throwing money away, you know what I mean? Sending their kids here and sending them there. There's something that I want to do coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah.
But they can reach anytime
Mhm.
at Suzette on Instagram, Suzette Ennis, and on Twitter.
Momma Sue,
Momma Sue.
we are, at Orangeville. I speak deeply from me personally. It is just an honor, real honor to be
You are
able to,
you are my hype man.
really an honor to be able to get the chance to talk to you every day and just learn and just be around the love and the energy that you bring. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate your family for sharing you and allowing all of us to benefit from that light. So thank you, and I appreciate it. And like you said, we're looking forward to what you're gonna bring to the world next.
I thank you so much, and I appreciate everything you do. Thank you for pushing me.
I try.
Appreciate it.
I try. Now it's time for you to let your light shine now.
I will.
All right.
I will.